What's happening, guys? Guys, I've been picking up renewals and doing maintenances all week. Finally, we're getting to some broken equipment. And for you guys that don't know, the weather next week is going to get into the 30s at night in Pennsylvania. So it's time to grease up your tires and let's start banging out some no heat calls. But guys, listen to this. This customer just called when I was at my last stop. This is a brand new customer. She said that she had another company come out 2 weeks ago to look at this heat pump, and she said whenever she turned the heat pump to heat, cold air would blow out. And she's an elderly customer, and she said that the guy came out, he asked for a copay, and she paid him his copay, and he did something, and the heat worked for only 1 day. And she said cold air was blown out again. And she said that she called him back since, he was the last company to come out, and he said that she had to pay another copay, which she said she wasn't going to do since he just came out like less than a week ago, and then he got mad and hung up. Guys, I don't know what's going on, man. Shit like that, man. Like I said, guys, all this shit is entertainment, man. We do free second opinions all the time. It is what it is. But guys, look, I'm on the way out there right now. Technically, like I said, the only thing I know is what she told me is the heat pump blowing out cold air. She said the AC worked, but she said the heat stopped working, like I said, a couple weeks ago, and there's no paperwork on what the other guy did, so I'm gonna check this out while I film, so you guys see it while I see it. I'll see y'all when I get inside. Peace. And this would be our air handler, which looks newer. And yeah, I hope there's not an inside problem because I'm gonna have to move that refrigerator. But guys, I turned the thermostat to heat, and right now it's about 70 degrees outside, so it's definitely not cold. And guys, look at the temperature. This tells me the AC is definitely running. So, and right now, the heat pump is running. Not sure if you guys can see. It's a Duquesne. Heat pump out there. Look at a 1914. But first things first, I'm going to go to that thermostat and we're going to see if the O terminal or the B terminal is energized. That will be the easiest thing to try first before we open up doors and check wires. Let's do that. I'll see y'all in a little bit. I just went upstairs at the thermostat, as you can see there, and something's definitely going on with the wires. I don't know if something was jimmy rigged for the AC to work, but nonetheless, it's time for me to utilize my arm day and move this out the way. I want to take a look at my wires inside that air handler. Let me get this out the way. I'll be right back. All right, guys. Like I said, our heat pump outside is a Duquesne, and it's 2019, so it's a relatively newer outside unit. And guys, look at this. This means one thing. This heat pump kicks somebody's ass in the summertime, 100%. I can guarantee on the way home, this guy played no music. He just sat down and he just rode home and thought about how this unit kicked his ass. Alright guys, let me stop playing. Alright, look, I gotta get the wiring diagram. Let's see how this thing is supposed to be hooked up here. Actually, hold on. I see it right here. Guys, I'm using this phone as the light. Let me turn this off. W2 and W1. So white and black gets wired under together. And guys, excuse me while I just zoom through this here. Common is our blue, blue, yep. Green is fan, and red is our power. Now, what I'm wondering is, do we even have enough wires for our reversing valve? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. Only 5 wires for a heat pump, which is a no bueno. I can tell that this is our fan. This is our wire coming from the thermostat, and this is coming from the heat pump, because this green wasn't hooked up. This is our G terminal at the thermostat. But holy crap. Yeah. I don't think the reversing valve wires are hooked up. Let me go outside for a second. I'll be right back. All right, guys. I'm outside, and this is our beloved 13 series 2-ton Duquesne unit. Looks like this was put in 2019, which makes it about 6 years old. Hey guys, all I wanted to know is if they had this reversing valve hooked up, what color wire did they use? And there's no common. Well, technically, hold on. Holy shit. Look at this. Is this thing? Oh, this is going to our reversing valve. Hey guys, it's definitely a heat pump. See that? What in the bumblefuck is going on? It looks like we got our common hooked up and our red. Oh no, we got our W1 hooked up. Common isn't hooked up. So it looks like they got this reversing valve constantly energized. Because look, this is our common, and this is for cooling. But remember, the Y terminal still gets energized on a call for heat, which is why the heat pump is running right now. But look at how it's hooked up. It's hooked up to it's down there hot wired to the reversing valve. Holy shit, man. That T6 could change I don't know if he knew that he can do this from the thermostat. Goddamn, buddy. What did they do to you, man? Shit. Alright, I got my power off downstairs, and I got this off. Why the hell did he have to take this off the board like this, huh? Alright, guys. I initially thought downstairs that we didn't have enough wires. We actually do. I can use this G for my reversing valve, which is what they already have hooked up. But downstairs, the other side of this green wire is not hooked up. So let me undo what's done here, and I'm gonna play by the schematic, and we're gonna hook this up the right way and see what happens here. I'll see y'all in a little bit. We got our homemade wire nuts removed, and this is for sure our reversing valve wires. And according to the schematic, as you can see, boom, boom, L1 is the reversing valve. But I gotta put new spade connectors on this valve. And we gotta hook up our contactor coil. Let me get what I need. I'll be right back. All right, guys. And once again, I got the power off inside and out here. But this is where these two wires need to go. Trivia question for you guys. What spade connectors would you think is best for this type of wire going to that terminal? Option 1, insulated spade connectors. Option 2, uninsulated spade connectors. And 3, ring connector. The answer is we want to go with this one. Strictly due to the fact that this is a thicker wire, we really only use spade connectors on smaller wires. But hold on, this camera can't focus. But with thick wires like this, the uninsulated connectors give you more space, because if we use the insulated spade connectors, it's not going to be a snug fit, and sometimes it can actually not cause a good connection on the wire using a spade connector too small. So it's good to have both of these, but know which application to use these best, and you don't have to worry about doing this twice. But let me cut the wire back and slap these on. I'll see you in a little bit. I got the square one outside. I still got to go inside and hook up my thermostat. I got to hook up the W2 to the thermostat, and I got to go downstairs and make sure that all my W2s and O's are hooked up. But, all right. Let's keep this out. We're just gonna put the handle in. And let's go inside and hook everything up. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, guys. After I hook up the air handler, I'm gonna look at the settings on this thermostat to see if the reversing valve is energized on the call for heat or not. But as you can see here, this is before and after. Before, the reversing valve and the heat wasn't even hooked up. But as you can see here, we used our white for W2 and we used blue for O. And outside, I took pictures of the defrost board. I got to tie everything together at the air handler. And now, once I connect everything, before I turn the power on, I'm going to set it so this reversing valve only gets energized on the car for AC. And once I put this back on the wall, I'm going to turn the power on. And now we're going to test the heat and AC to see finally what was going on before the last guy came out. Let me put this together. I'll see you in a little bit. Guys, now we have it hooked up correctly. The thicker wire is the thermostat wire, and this is our heat pump wire. And all our W1s and W2s are connected together. Both yellows, which is cooling, is connected. We're not using a common at the thermostat because we need that blue for reversing valve, and that thermostat has batteries. So what we have hooked up is just a common, which is blue, going to our defrost board. That's going to the common from the unit. All reds are connected to the R terminal or the R wire. And the green coming from our heat pump is O. That's going straight to each other. And of course, green from the air handler is fan, and that's going to the green terminal on the thermostat. Now, what I want to do is set the programming. Let me turn my light off here. Hold on. And I want to see if this thing gets energized in the car for heat. So I know that's non-programmable. I think the other one is Fahrenheit or Celsius. 2 is electric. And guys, I'm going off the memory. And this is the only thing I care about here. 218 you want this on 0. That means the reversing valve is only going to be energized on the call for AC, not heat. This is how 99% of most heat pumps operate now. I don't know if Trane does it the opposite way, but I know there's one brand in particular that does it the opposite way. It means they energize their heat pumps, or they energize their reversing valves on the call for heat. But most of them do it this way. They energize the reversing valve only on call for AC. So in the event that power gets lost at the heat pump in the winter, that heat pump can still deliver heat. So this is what we want. It's on 0. And let's save this. And yeah. Let's turn the power on. And put this on the wall and see what happens. I'll see you in a little bit. All right. My heat pump is not on yet. I just turned the thermostat on. I'm pretty sure there's an anti 2 to 5 minute time delay since I turned the power off and turned it back on. Right now, just my fan is running. I didn't even test the electric heat yet because I just wanted to make sure we're at least getting something out of this heat pump. And right now, this is just recirculated air. Before, remember, we're getting 40 degrees coming out the vents. That was with the AC running, which is what we don't want. But now we have everything hooked up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go outside and wait for my heat pump to turn on. And I'll be right back. See that? Alternating back and forth. Alternating slow flash. Alright, here we go. There we go. Just turned on. Alright, let's go downstairs. And let's see what we got coming out the vents. It's already starting to go up. Let me put this door on real quick. Alright guys. Got my door open. I got my door closed. And remember, it was just like 65 and it's going up. I'm gonna wait a few minutes. I wanna see what this gets to. But yeah guys, I don't know. What I'm gonna do, I wanna test the electric heat as well. I wanna make sure that if this thing turns off on defrost, I wanna make sure that this customer can still get heat. And after I test defrost, after I test the electric heat, the backup heat, I'm gonna turn this to AC, and I want to see what's going on. But yeah, I don't see anything. If something's going on with that reversing valve, remember the default is going to be heat. So right now, the biggest thing I'm doing right now is I want to make sure that this customer gets heat, but I want to test the AC as well. But everything looks okay. We had enough wires to hook up everything we needed. That thermostat upstairs is still in good condition. I don't know what the reason for bypassing that reversing valve. I just don't know. And that thermostat is a heat pump thermostat, so I can't even give you a reason why it would be a need to bypass that reversing valve manually. But everything's getting hot. I want to get this thing into at least the 90s. But let me wait a few minutes, and I'm gonna go upstairs and turn on my electric heat. And in the meantime, I'm gonna pop a new filter in. I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right. So you got our filter in, and it went up to 94, which is good. 95. All right, let me turn this off. I'm gonna turn my backup heat on, and let's see what happens. I'll see you in a little bit. Guys, you wanna hear a joke? Look at this. I just turned my thermostat to emergency heat, and it dropped down from 95 to 72. My fan is running, which is normal. And I'm like, my electric heat isn't getting amps. Look at this shit, guys. I'm like, I had my meter out, getting ready to check for amps. And look at this shit. They actually took the wires off the electric heat kit. I've personally seen it all. Guys, I got the heat kit hooked up. 17 amps. And right now, once again, I only have this thermostat hooked to, I only have that thermostat turned to emergency heat. I know my heat pump works. At this point, I definitely do know that 95 degrees is coming from the heat pump, because my electric heat wasn't even hooked up. So 88 degrees, 89 degrees, it will probably be higher. But remember, I got my door off because I'm testing the electric heat kit. I'm testing the amps. And as soon as that thing turned on 2 seconds ago, I definitely did smell like a slight, not burning smell, but sometimes, especially when you guys install these air handlers and you first turn the electric heat on, sometimes you could get that slight burning smell. But most important, you want to check the amps to make sure this thing isn't overamping close to a point where it's tripping the breaker. With 16.9, that's good money. But what I'm going to do now, and I'm getting 90 degrees already, what I'm going to do now is put the door on, and we're going to turn the thermostat to cool. I want to test this thing in AC mode. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I got my thermostat turned to cool. And my suction line is burning hot. So I think my heat pump is actually running in heat mode. And I actually have my meter still on my electric heat. And my electric heat was running. On the call for AC. Instead of going outside, guys, here's what I did. And this is my W2 coming from the board. Look at this. On the call for AC. I should have 24 volts. Now this is my W2 at the thermostat. This is telling me my thermostat is not turning its electric heat on. My outside unit is. See that? If I connect these two W2s, I'm gonna have this electric heat kick on when it shouldn't. I'm thinking, guys, definitely something's going on with that defrost board outside. Something wacky is going on with that board. Because what I did was I checked for 24 from R to O is sending 24 volts to the O terminal to open my reversing valve. But remember, guys, even with this reversing valve getting power, my reversing valve gets its power through that defrost board outside. Remember, I took my wires out of that wire nut jumble, and then I put everything back on that board. As soon as I put everything back on the board, this thermostat is sending 24 volts out to my O terminal, but what's coming back is not making sense. I shouldn't have my W2 circuit closed on the call for AC. So yeah, guys, now that we have everything hooked up the way that it should, everything in here, everything inside and at the thermostat is spot on. I think my defrost board outside needs to get replaced. I'm not going to rule out that reversing valve, because when I got here, remember, the reversing valve, it was energized, but it was bypassed. But I don't have to do that because I already confirmed that I had 24 volts going to my O terminal. But remember that the O terminal is on the board, it's not on the reversing valve. The wires from the reversing valve goes to the O terminal through the board. So I think all signs point to us having to order a new defrost board. And if something more is going on, we can definitely start after we put a new board in outside. But once again, guys, that's only for AC. Right now, this customer will have heat from both the electric heat kit and the heat pump. But I'll make a note of this right now. Like I said, guys, we're getting 70-degree days and 30-degree nights. So the good news is I don't think this customer has to do that right now, since it's not, like I said, it's not going to be hot anytime soon. But I'll definitely let her know that she definitely has to get that defrost board replaced. And I'm going to sign this customer up for maintenance as well. But I'll definitely let her know that in order for this unit to work properly, like the way that it should, she'll definitely have to get that defrost board, because us getting power like that and keeping that electric heat kit running constantly, they're not gonna get AC like that. But yeah, guys, that was an interesting turn of events, having my electric heat kit run like that. But yeah, guys, no doubt about it. I think even though we know that our reversing valve is getting power, the reason why this suction line is hot, it's probably something in that board is causing that reversing valve. Even though it's getting power, maybe it's not going to that reversing valve. Maybe that defrost board is probably stuck in defrost. That might be another weird thing that might be happening, because if that defrost board is stuck in defrost, what's going to happen is that defrost board is going to send power to my W2 to turn on my electric heat kit, and also that could explain why my suction line is warm, because that defrost only initiates on a call for heat. On a call for AC, that defrost doesn't do anything. But remember, by us assuming that something's wacky is going on with that board, I won't put anything past that. Something like that is definitely going on inside that board. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna get the model and serial number of the outside unit, and we're gonna start first with the defrost board. But for sure, I'll recommend maintenance moving forward, so this customer can get this unit definitely cleaned out. The outside unit didn't look too bad, but I think something definitely, I don't know how this unit was working before that guy was here, but if he's seen what I've seen right now, for sure I definitely would have just started by putting in a new defrost board. But I mean, I don't know to the extent what's going on with the reversing valve, but I can't really diagnose that reversing valve with that defrost board sending power where it shouldn't send power. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna pack up and rock out. I'm gonna call in a new board, and definitely want this unit to work the way that it should. We don't want to leave anything bypassed unless, like I said, that's the last resort. But yeah, guys, there you have it. No heat. We fixed a bunch of jumbled up wires, and we found the electric heat kit staying on constantly, and this lines up perfectly with what the customer said in regards to hot air blowing out in the summer. And putting two and two together by us using our meter, now we know that the thermostat is not sending power to the W2. The defrost board is. Now we have to start with the defrost board. There you guys have it. I'm gonna close these doors up, and I gotta call the suppliers before they close. I'll see y'all the next one. Peace.